archetype in Diddy, you know what I mean? Like where you just kind of rush down and get really intrusive with the grabs, and then you just start comboing and all those things. So River is very well familiar with that archetype of character. I've been playing it for years.
I mean, Tweak's just the best player in the world with like half the cast, and definitely
There's that too.
Amplified in the fact of Wish's optimality as a player. I suppose he plays Ice Climbers, a character who, in a perfect world, should be the best character in the game, but isn't, with the punish game that character can provide. But hey, there ain't no characters on screen like that right now. We got Pokemon Trainer in Remzi going up against Rivers right here with the patented Diddy Kong, as you are probably very used to seeing at this point. This is going to be a hell of a set for you guys on our first best of 5 of the night. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Rivers versus Remzi. Almost said Newt because it's still at the top right. I got a little bit confused, but I didn't. I remembered. I just thought you noticed and you were taking a bit.
I did. Did you think I was testing you?
Maybe.
Well, you passed. I'm just joking. That wasn't a test.
Woo!
So anyways.
Only test I ever passed in my life.
I mean, probably passed a couple standardized.
A couple, I guess.
Couple.
I failed. I tried to be a lawyer. I failed the bar. Anyway, Small Battlefield is the pick. Doing that patented Z drop stuff right there. I almost said something else because it's a better way to describe it. Just dropping a hitbox and putting one out immediately. And I'm sure you all realize the reason that Rivers does that is so he can just get the aerials out that he needs despite having the banana in hand. And as a result, he's able to keep the projectile he has on deck while able to still use those aerials. Otherwise, he would just jump in the air and throw them, I suppose. Very important Z drop tech to acquire, as well as another Z drop by the ledge right there to be able to take out that Charizard. No angel drop needed, ladies and gentlemen. No down airs required. The water is in fact free at this restaurant.
Yeah,
and Rivers
caught him with the air dodge, the old classic. I don't know where I'm going to end up, so I'm going to hit air dodge, and didn't end up on the stage. So no tech, instead just ends up plummeting to death. So that is going to be what was a close start for Remzi, now going to turn into something of a lead for Rivers, although really not too out of control at the moment, as I say that.
I don't know, man. He's still everywhere, but the back throw gonna do it. Thankfully, he had Ivysaur out and was able to get that ranged grab right there for the back throw, evening stuff out immediately. And it's just, how is Remzi gonna deal with the aggression of Rivers, my friend? This is one of the things where, despite all the matchup experience that, like, Rivers has, at the very least, he's fighting 3 characters, you know? So one of those characters is bound to be able to deal with the insane pressure and frame data of a character like Diddy Kong, who likes to rush down, be up in your face, like you mentioned before, better than the other ones, my friends. I feel like Charizard might have a little bit harder of a time negating that kind of pressure if he's not careful and doesn't utilize his double jumps properly. But Squirtle might be able to outmaneuver that a little bit easier due to his sheer speed and frame data to be able to contest Rivers. Ivysaur might be that typical middle of the pack like he was necessarily designed to be as that second evolution Pokemon of the group. But he'll still die to forward smashes if he doesn't space himself properly, as Rivers is going to whip out another one and go up a stock in game number 1 of Winners Finals.
Yeah, man. This is the thing, right? Like, and you kind of nailed it. So, and yeah, we're seeing Remzi stick with the Squirtle pretty much through thick or thin, and I don't blame him. You can definitely tell this is Remzi's best Mon in the arsenal, and with good reason. It's just finding all of those confirms and all that big damage off of combos against Rivers is a little bit tricky. Rivers is very optimized in the way that he kind of knows how to get out of that sort of thing, and also doesn't really get himself in it in the first place. You'll see the way Rivers plays, and you already mentioned it with the banana peel, has that thing out to basically interrupt all kinds of movements to ensure hits, make you respect all the basically neutral in front of him, and does a heck of a job of it. So Remzi does have the work cut out for them, and Charizard is out, and this could be a potential opportunity. And
all right. Oh! Wow, I wasn't sure. That seemed to be a little center stagey with a forward throw. I don't know if he just caught his DI or something. He might have tried to DI trap him right there with the forward throw because, what am I trying to say? Holding away DI would have been the optimal DI for up throw. Yeah, which would have killed right there. So I don't know if he just caught him off guard. It seems like forward throw has enough startup for Rivers to be able to react to, but I don't know. Wi-Fi? Let's go with that.
I mean, honestly,
internet.
I think that forward throw is just kind of strong. Just maybe a little stronger than we think, but
I don't know. I didn't see any lightning though.
I honestly think the DI mix-up thing is probably a good explanation because I was personally expecting up throw because I just know that's a kill throw, but not what we got. Instead, we do have game 1 going to the Rivers. Rivers, I would imagine the first seed of this tournament, so as expected, at least at the moment. So Remzi has been playing really, really well all day, though. So we'll see if he's able to keep the set close. And you know, it's within the grasp. There was definitely a lot of good moments in there for Remzi. It's just a matter of stringing it all together now.
For sure, my friend. For sure. I definitely expected the forward throw myself because I think it was only 124% and he wasn't going to land on the platform. I think Remzi knew that up throw was likely not going to kill there either. Like, Diddy is kind of light, but definitely not light enough for stuff like that to kill. Like, he's just a little bit under midway, to be precise. And there you go. That Z-drop stuff again right there to get the aerials out. It's just such an immaculate way for him to keep the pressure on. You know, don't get me wrong, and I saw the two of them play against each other all the time back in the day. I would always compare, like, you know, Rivers Diddy to Angel Cortez's, as they were both former top 5 players of New Jersey. And one of the big differences in them, and I want to exemplify this as the stock has gone there, to highlight what really makes Rivers so special of a player, is that I feel like Angel's, like, what am I trying to say? He had so many, like, so not just gimmicky, but just really good and practiced situations, such as the Angel drop by ledge, and just was very good at, like, the middle ground space in terms of banana placement, if you would. And, like, that's, what am I trying to say? Like a little snake-like, you know, and set play-like. I'll be like, I'm going to put my banana here, and therefore this is covered. Whereas Rivers, on the other hand, takes the banana, throws it out, and then uses it for just relentless up-close pressure. It's just ridiculous, the situations that he sets up with the banana and, like, the tech that he uses with it in terms of Z-dropping it to get those aerials out. It's amazing to watch, if I'm being completely honest, the way, because I don't think there are too many other Diddies who really use the banana like he does, less like, you know, Tweak and Aaron, if we're being honest.
Even that is different. It's just, I don't know, James has a really good way of, or I should say, Rivers has a really good way of just knowing where to place that thing and sort of anticipating the opponent's moves with it. A lot of times you'll see him throw the banana there, and then, you know, several seconds later you'll see somehow opponent landing on it and then getting confirmed into, like, F smash. So I don't know, he just has very good, like, situational awareness with it. And I do agree, I don't actually see a whole lot of Diddies get the same mileage, and he is just so brutal on the ledge with the banana too. The amount of angel drops, as you say, that he lands, I think last week in Grand Finals against Skips, I'm not even exaggerating. I think probably about 40% of the kills were on ledge, some combination of banana and down air. So that is definitely very practiced in the arsenal of Rivers tech.
K-Rool seems like thick enough of a lad for, you know, that stuff to become at least a little bit easier, I suppose.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Definitely none right here. Instead, we got the Squirtle, which I agree. From what I remember of Remzi's Pokemon Trainer, I think it is probably still the best of his mons, if you would. But this guy is like sort of like more of a textbook Pokemon trainer, to say the least. And not even just his mix-ups with the way he uses his Pokemon, which he's gonna have to... Oh, never mind! I thought he was just far away. I thought he was just far away enough without a jump to the point where Vine Whip wouldn't reach and he would need Charizard, but evidently not the case. He could have died right there if he went with that instead. But die he does again, man, and he'll have to die another day once again. Beautiful play by Rivers to get that. That's such a ballsy option going for side B off a level like that.
He does
and
it
here
all
you go.
The time.
I know he does.
There's so much confidence in the ability that he's just going to get back, and that's the thing, is knowing how to use the decon recovery is also something that, you know, I feel like that just takes a lot of playing this character to really figure out, because there's like you could get like rising barrel as a thing, and then and then charging it and then being able to go around the stage. Like there's just so much. It up front it doesn't seem like a great recovery, but there's a lot to it. The fact that you control the barrels after they fall off Diddy to use as like a projectile, you'll see Rivers do a lot of that actually.
It's one of the most terrifying things in this game, by the way.
Because you can't even see it. It's just there.
There's nothing more terrifying, Chris, than when your opponent doesn't even know where it's going. You know what I mean? It's like Hero when he whips out menu. That guy doesn't even know what he's gonna do.
So the thing
when
is,
that
though,
thing comes out, you know,
is the Diddy barrels are very controllable, especially if you do watch Rivers, especially when he's like having some sub games or just like on quick play. I'll watch some of his stream. You'll see him sometimes if he's just playing against a player where he's starting to sandbag, really beating up on him. You'll basically see him try to do the fancy things with the barrels, and just the level of control that you'll see him have over those is pretty crazy. Like even right there, right, just targeted right in on Charizard with the barrels.
He's a big target, my friends, too, and he will be dying at this percent no matter what, as we are virtually even in percent. But once again, another monkey flip. I feel like that's where Rivers dies more than anything else. It's just when he monkey flips that one too many time, you know? And that's like such a Diddy thing to say the least, because monkey flip is an amazing move, don't get me wrong. You know, command grab, quick burst option, transfer into a kick that has a little bit of invincibility, whatever. But if you do it too much, like anything else, it does definitely become telegraphed. Not that Rivers is doing it too much, but you can just react to that move if you're far enough away as well, especially with a character like ranged options like Charizard, who's going to die up to the top to that up smash, evening it out for Remzi, evening it out for Rivers right here, I should say. Looking pretty good for both players so far, man. Neutral's reset again.
Yep,
Oh, never mind. He's edge guarding him.
Yeah, I mean, Remzi did have like a pretty good lead to start, but Rivers has definitely closed down on that quite a bit, and he might be looking to go up here depending on how this all goes on the right ledge. I feel like at any moment, really, something can happen. Even with Ivysaur, right? I mean, that down air covers so much space, so all it takes is getting Rivers off stage, which is a task in itself, and that could happen. But finally getting away from that ledge, only to end up right back on it. So we'll see if this maybe, yeah, Rivers basically recognizing what happened immediately and going off to capitalize with a banana.
That was also a really amazing play in and of itself. Not only because he recognized what happened, you can sort of like tell, like, and as amazing of a player as Remzi is, Rivers has the reputation that he does for a reason. Because Remzi didn't realize what happened there for a second, because he thought he was going to have to tech off of the banana throw right there. And I think Rivers might have realized that. Like, he just might have chosen not to go for a forward air or anything, because he probably would have been prepared to tech, and instead threw the banana and deliberately didn't go for an aerial, knowing that Remzi was going to try to tech, essentially forcing him to air dodge, or tricking him, I should say, into air dodging, so he would die right there from down below. Or I could be reading too much into it, but that's what it seemed like happened to me.
That seems pretty reasonable. I think it's not a lot of people understand. Like, I think it's easy to not be able to know what that banana is going to do to you, because you just think of it as a hitbox, so you don't really think of it as just like a thing that just stops your motion. So I think being prepared for tech there sounds very possibly what could happen. But Remzi is sort of clawing his way back into this game ever so slightly, and does have Charizard out, so while he is a big target, all it takes is, yep, there's the back air. I was going to say, all it takes is a good clean back air, so we'll probably be seeing that being thrown out a bit.
Yeah. I imagine that if anything, that's going to be used, because with the exception of what we not even seeing right here, yeah, that Charizard did not Flare Blitz a single time in any of those games, if I was paying attention correctly. Do you remember a single Flare Blitz?
I don't think a Flare Blitz in the entire tournament, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the answer is no, and I kind of think it, like, low key could work. You know what I mean? Especially like the move like that, it leaves you very vulnerable. But when you're in a position where things are close and you haven't used it the whole time, like, you never know. Like, you might kind of catch someone slipping, even like a Rivers, like that move, when you're just not expecting it, can catch you. But in either case, speaking of back airs, that is what's going to clean up winners finals. So just like that, 3-0 going out for Rivers. Meanwhile, as we're waiting for things to shape up, it looks like your boy JT makes their way into loser semifinals, waiting on the winner of Xavier and Spirit. So I believe Xavier was at Wii Fit and Spirit is a Falcon. So let's see what happens.